So the experimental design involves controlled experiment to test a hypothesis. So then, the here, don't worry about the terms, then we will discuss about. So the hypothesis is a kind of a statement about the relationship or association between the variable. And later we can discuss deeply about how to formulate the hypothesis. So then normally experiments, involves controlled experiments, especially in the marketing. Experimental design is a structured approach. That means in a systematic way, right? Testing cause and effect relationship in control settings. Cause and effect. Cause means one thing can cause to impact, right, on something. Say for example, service quality can cause the customer satisfaction. You all can understand when the uh, good customer service quality can lead to the high customer satisfaction. So then here the service quality cause an effect on the customer satisfaction. So then this is the uh, cause and effect relationship, right? Try to find the relationship between the variables. It normally involves manipulating one or more independent variable while controlling other factors, right? And observing the resulting changes in the dependent variables. We will discuss about example. This method is often used to find out or establish the cause for causal relations. Causal means the causal relationship, not causal. It's a causal relationship. That means so one variable can make some impact on another one, right? So why customers are getting satisfaction due to the service quality. So then here there's the cause and effect. Cause may be the service quality, effect may be the customer satisfaction, right? A company testing the impact of different advertising strategies on consumer purchasing behavior by randomly assigning the participants to different groups, right? So then this is a way normally they can do that. Here, normally in the experimental design, the key components, right? So independent variables. So then dependent variable, because independent variable may be the cause and dependent variable may be the effect. So then you should know that what is independent variables and dependent variables. Variables means the changing, right? Items are variables. Normally, in the marketing, simple example, we can discuss about the variable, about the service quality may vary person to person, to customers. They receive the service quality may vary. So the organization to organization, they provide the service quality also varies. So that's why we can say it's a variable of service quality, and it is independent because independent means the organization or marketers, they can provide the service independently, right? So we can say it is an independent variable. These are the variables that experimenter manipulates. They are the cause. We assume that in the experimental setting, right, they can use it as a cause, right? For what? To make some impact on customer satisfaction. Another variable is here dependent variable. Normally, DVs, dependent variables. These are the variables that are the measure to see if they changes as a result of manipulation to the independent variable. So that manipulation in the sense, because they are going to experiment. They try to increase the service quality, and then they try to find is there any change in the customer satisfaction, right? So another example also we can see, a lot of examples we can discuss. So advertising campaigns. So the marketers can use some advertising campaigns, promotional campaigns, right? To make sales increase, right? So then here the cost may be the advertising, effect may be the sales, right? So then they want to experiment. How they can experiment? Just with little advertisements, and to certain group they can promote, and then they try to find is there any sales increase from that group, right? One, this is a experiment. Another group also they can experiment by giving very aggressive, right, sales promotion to the group, and then they expect any changes in the sales, right? If there is any change, the sales compared to the less advertisements, right, to the aggressive advertisement group, then they can decide these aggressive advertisements cause the uh, sales, right, effect, cause the sales effect. So in this case, they can use some control variables also. These are the variables that are kept constant to ensure that any changes in the dependent variable due to the manipulation of the independent variables and not other factors like there is no any income change, there is no any other change in the sales items or product quality change or whatever it is. Only they try to experiment the changes of sales due to the advertisements. If they want to find out the impact of the advertisement, they keep other variable constant without changing. Like they don't change the product quality, features, packaging, and other, right, location or whatever it is. What else? Only they try to manipulate the advertisements, and then they try to find the effect on the sales, right? So then here randomly they can assign, participants are randomly assigned to the different experimental conditions to control for these variables, right? So that's why experimental design also they are, right? So another one, survey research. Survey that you all know that using some survey instruments like questionnaire, they can use to collect the uh, data, and through that they can do some analysis. So survey research involves collecting data from a specific group of people. Normally specific group of people we say is a sample through structured questionnaires or surveys. So the sample also we will discuss later, but you should understand what is sample. Sample normally we refer it as a representation. Say for example, when the researcher try to gather the data from the larger population, right? Sometimes practically that is not possible to collect data from the larger population. So say for example, in Sri Lanka, if they want to collect the data from the some consumers, a particular company may have 100,000 more than 10,000 like that, right? Customers may they have, but it is not possible to collect from all the customers. So in that case, they can use the sample. Sample means the representation. They can use some sampling techniques to get the representatives of the target right groups. So then they can prepare the questionnaires, survey instruments, and then they can collect the data. Surveys can be administered through various means, including online or phone interviews or in-person interactions. They can use it. So the questionnaire also, they can nowadays, online is very popular. Survey Monkeys, Google Forms. I think you all know about these things. Normally, you also sometimes fill the questionnaire. So that is very common because easy as well. But phone interviews also, they can prepare the questionnaire and calling the person, asking questions according to the questionnaire, and based on the response, they can mark the answers in the questionnaire. Another one, in person, directly they can meet the person and they can issue the questionnaire and collecting the questionnaire with the response. This method is efficient for collecting data from a large number of participants and is useful for measuring attitudes, opinion, behaviors, and demographics. As I said, the larger population is difficult to collect, but compared to the qualitative methods, the survey methods, it is they can collect the data from the larger samples. That means larger population, right? So here, useful for measuring attitudes, opinion, behaviors, and demographics. These all are kind of a item, but they are converting after collecting data into the codings and usable format for the analysis purpose, right? Opinion, they may say they prefer it, they don't like it, it is useful, like that, these ideas. But what we can do for the analysis, we can assign some numbers. So that's why, like Likert scale, you all know that 1 to 5, 1 to 7, 1 to 10, like that, the scale, right? If you are more agree, right? If you are strongly agree, you can select a 5. If you are moderately agree, you can say 4. Neutral, you can say 3. So not agree, you can say 2. Strongly disagree, you can say 1. So then here your opinions are coded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Then it is easy to do some analysis, right? So the company distributing a customer satisfaction survey to gather feedback on their product or service, they can use these questionnaires, right? Here also in the um, survey methods, the key aspects, as I said, the sample selection, that is very important. Sampling, when they are using the sampling techniques properly, they have to use, otherwise there may be a bias. Bias means when we are selecting certain people as a sample, but they are not representing the whole population. Say, for example, we are going to collect the data from Sri Lankan customers. So then we collect 500 samples. Okay, 500 also a big number, but 500 samples we are going to collect. But in the 500 samples, if we are collecting from Jaffna, that may be biased because that is not representing the Sri Lankans, right? Because in 25 district we have to get the data from the customers, right? Then only it can represent the Sri Lanka. So that's why representative samples of the target population is chosen to make sure that survey results are generalizable. Generalizable means we can apply these results to the customers all over the country. If we are getting the samples from all over the country only, we can use the findings to apply to these customers. So that's the terms we use, generalizable. Generalizable means generally we can apply these findings to the general population. Then questionnaire design also important. Questionnaires are structured with a mix of open-ended and closed-ended questions are we using. Open-ended questions means just asking question. What do you think about the product quality? This is open question. So customers, whatever they feel, they can give it. But if you are giving a closed-ended questions, what do you think about the product quality? Then we give some answers as well, right? So it's acceptable, it's not acceptable, it's good, it is useful, right? It's durable, like that. There may be some options as answers. Then we compel the respondent to select the answer from the given answer. Then we can use it as we can tell it as a close-ended questions. And questions are designed to elicit specific information relevant to the research objectives. So then after that, they can do this. They can do the survey method. Another one, social science research methods. So survey and questionnaire already a business research also this it's applicable in social science also it is applicable. So for understanding, we discussing about business research and social research, but it is interchangeable, right? Don't worry about, don't confuse whether there's no any different surveys method for the business. There is no any different survey method for social science. So social surveys and questionnaires are common for the social science and business research as well, right? Collecting information from individuals or group in social sciences, surveys and questionnaires are commonly used to gather data from people, but their attitude, beliefs, behaviors, and the opinions. So researchers design a set of structured questions to elicit as the same thing we have discussed earlier, applicable here. This method is sufficient for collecting data from a large number of participants and is useful for measuring various social constructs such as attitudes towards politics, preferences in consumer behavior, or opinions on social issues like that. This is applicable, right? As we discussed earlier under the business research method also here, social science research method also the same thing. So observational studies. Observational studies means normally writes systematic observations of behavior. Observational studies involve systematically observing and recording the behaviors, so interactions or events in the natural setting without interfering or manipulating them. So the previous methods what we have discussed, normally we ask the questions and the respondents know that they are asking questions and they want to respond based on most of the time they are responding. Sometimes they forget some information. They recall some the past events, and based on their memory power, they can respond. Right. So that's why 100% we cannot make sure that we can get the accurate response from the respondents by using the previous methods. But here the observations normally in practice while customers are behaving. So in the natural setting, say for example, when the customer try to purchase something in the shop, we can observe. So then it's a natural setting when they are involving in the purchasing, we can observe what they are really doing, right? How they are behaving, how they are communicating. So then these kind of interactions is recorded, observed, and nowadays there are a lot of methods available to observe these things, right? Internet of things are used like sensors, CCTV cameras. So one example we can say observation. Normally in the foreign countries, when customer enter to any store, when they do the research using these observational methods, they can ask the customer to wear some glasses like spectacles, but embedded with the cameras and sensors. So after wearing that glasses, customers try to purchase. While they are moving, where they are seeing, what are the things they are seeing, what are the things they are really focusing, what are the things they spend some time on some items, especially when they look at the package. What are the items, the contents they are checking in the package? It may be a price, it may be a expire date, the ingredients, usage methods. So then these things are they are observing by the observation, and they can find any pattern of the common customers, right? What they really do during the purchase. So researchers aim to understand and describe social behavior by watching how people act in a real world situation. The natural setting, as I said, the real world situation, what they are really doing. So then here, this may be the accurate because without any manipulation, they don't know. Sometimes asking the customers to some questions, sometimes, as I said, they can manipulate. Sometimes they forget to respond. They cannot recall something because most of the time when we are asking the question using survey methods, customers are recalling their memories. Based on that, only they can respond. But here in the observational methods, in the real world setting, while they are purchasing, they can record. This method is particularly useful for studying behavior in contexts where controlled experiments may not be feasible or ethical. such as in public spaces or sensitive social setting, only they can do these kind of observational methods. Here, normally there are some aspects when they consider while they are doing these observational methods. A natural setting. Observations are conducted in a subject's natural environment. As I said, is a real world example. That means in real shops, real retail shops, real behavior. That is natural setting. And non-interference. That means, as I said, sometimes they can ask the customers to wear the glasses, but that also can kind of interference. But most of the observational studies in the settings, they don't interfere the customers. That means the customers don't know. They are observing them, right? The researchers are observing them. They don't know. So then sometimes they can use some people as an observer. And nowadays, they can use this CCTV footage just because that's very comfortable. So then without interfering the customers, they can record everything after that. So then they retrieve that video and observe how customers are behaving in the shops. So then they get all sort of information and they can do some analysis and get the findings, right? Another one is the case study. Case studies here you see. So that is in-depth analysis of particular subject or situation. Case studies involves a comprehensive and detailed examinations of a specific individuals, group, event, organization, or community. Detailed examinations of specific individuals, group, event, organization, or community. So then they record that these individual behavior, group behavior, events, activities, organization, and community. And researcher collect data through various means, including interviews, observations, and document analysis to gain deeper understanding of the subject of the study. The case studies are valuable for exploring complex and unique phenomena in depth, providing rich contextual information and allowing for the examinations of multiple perspectives. They can do that. Especially, you see, case studies, they record this information. So some examples we can discuss, right? Say, for example, Apple launch of iPhone, right? Every September, Apple is launching the new versions. Then this version also, there are some leaked phone messages, 16 images appears online, right? So like that, they prepare the launch, a new iPhone coming in September. So Apple's launch of iPhone is an iconic case study in marketing, right? We can do some case study analysis about how they are launching that. So through in-depth analysis, we can examine various aspects of this launch, right? Such as the product design, pricing strategy, marketing communication, and consumer behavior. How consumers are responding when they are launching the product, whether where the price will whether increase or decrease or the same, any features, what are the improvement they are making, right, for every versions. So then they consider the case, right? Every year they are launching this, and after that they can record related to that case. So researchers could collect data through interviews with the key stakeholders, observations of consumer reaction through consumer reactions also in the different ways they can collect, and analysis of marketing materials, right, available online, right, for the promotions and distributions. And why exploring deeply into these aspects, so marketers can understand the factors that contribute to the iPhone success, right? So the really, so competitors also do some analysis to understand the success of the iPhone. So then they can do it as a case study, right? Analyze the case of Apple launching an iPhones, and then they every time what is happening after that, what is happening, they are doing a detailed study. So additionally, they can gain insights on how Apple effectively created a hype and anticipation around the product launch, so leading to storing initial sales and long-term brand loyalty. As I said, now sometimes Apple deliberately leak some images to make some hype among the people, because now people are eagerly waiting for the new version of the iPhone, right? So then automatically the tension is there, the hero. So the curiosity in the people's mind about what may be it, right? What are the new features we can expect? So like that, there may be some reasons they can use as a strategy to make a hype and anticipation around the product launch. So then people are waiting for the new phone, and so they prepare the money also to purchase. So like that, they can use this case study. Now you can understand case study means not only one case, even one organization also they can collect. Even one organization customers also they can consider as a case. Why they are purchasing from them, what are the right aspects they are getting the satisfaction, why they are loyal to the particular company or product, like that. That also they can do as a case. Right, experiment also already we discussed in the business and social science research methods. So the control to just to establish a cause and effect, right? That also we have discussed in social science also. Experiment involves manipulating one or more independent variables under control condition to observe the effects of the dependent variable. So researchers aim to establish causal relationships between variables and understand the impact of specific interventions. Interventions means any changes or manipulations, right, or condition on social behavior or outcome. So experimental designs allow for rigorous testing of hypotheses and can provide insight into the underlying mechanism driving a social phenomenon. And types of research, now we can discuss about different types of. One is the basic research. Another term is the pure research. Pure research means aimed at increasing the knowledge and understanding without immediate practical applications. So the basic research or pure research means aimed at increasing knowledge. So then knowledge creation. Why they are doing a research? To create the knowledge, increase the knowledge, right? Or to understand about some theories, concept, they can do some research to understand. So we can say this research is normally not to find the solution to the problem, but this research most of the time, we cannot say it is not find the solution to the problem, but not to the immediate problem, right? Immediate problems in the marketing setting, sometimes sales is dropping, then they cannot do the pure research, but they can do some applied research. Why sales is dropping? They can do that. So then here, basic research normally conducted by the academics, knowledge creation. Generally, they can do some research to understand the things, right? So basic research is conducted primarily for the purpose of advancing knowledge and gaining a deep understanding of subject or phenomenon, right? So already some theories may be available. Again, they conduct some research to deeply understand that concept. So it is driven by intellectual curiosity and the desire to explore fundamental principles behind the concepts. So the outcome of a basic research may not have immediate or direct practical applications, but they often form the foundations for applied research and innovation in the future. So that's why some theories created by the scholars, researchers, and later in practice, they can apply in the practical settings, right? They can apply in the practical settings. So normally, imagine a company that conducts a research to understand the underlying psychological and behavioral differences among consumer segments. So they may explore into various factors such as personality traits, lifestyle preferences, and cultural influences without a specific product or campaign in mind, right? So if it is a specific product, specific campaigns, then that is normally we can say is applied, because they are going to apply that research finding to the particular product. But here is commonly they do. So normally researchers like academics, they do research. Their research almost all the time is a pure research, because they are not working for a company. So they are working for a company also they are, but actually most of the academies, they don't work for the companies, right? So then they are working independently. So then independently what they can do some research to understand the new concepts. Say, for example, we also can do some research to understand the factors influence. I have done one research about psychological factors, right? And which influence on the green purchase intention. So then that is not for the particular product. It is common, right? So like that research, we can say it's a basic research, right? So it is common for the knowledge, not for the particular company or product. So basic research aims to increase the understanding of consumer behavior without an immediate application, but serve as the groundwork for future targeted marketing strategies. So then normally immediate research, we can say that is applied research. Applied research is conducted, initiated based on the pure research, right? So scholars develop the theories and concept, and later in the real world setting, other researchers can use that as a base to do the research. That is normally we can call it as a applied research. So then applied research focuses on solving specific practical problems or addressing a real world issue. Say, for example, particular company having some problem and they want to initiate a research. So in that case, they can start a research. Why they are doing the research? The objectives of finding the solution to the particular problem of the company. So immediately after the research, they can apply the findings to get the solution to the particular issue. So that's a applied research. Applied research is conducted with a specific goal of finding solution to a practical problem or improving the existing process, product or system. Well, anyhow, the research helps to improve the existing problems. Immediately they can apply. But now you can understand the difference between the basic research and applied research. The pure research just to increase the knowledge or understand the knowledge, but here to apply, right? To find the solutions. It aims to directly address real world issues and often involves the application of existing knowledge or technology to practical situation. The results of applied research are intended to have an immediate or near-term practical applications, right? Example also we can see some example. Consumer behavior studies. A company might conduct applied research to understand why consumers are not purchasing a particular product despite it having a positive reviews. Even people review positively about the product, but people are not purchasing it much. So then they want to do the research to understand why they are not purchasing it. By conducting a surveys or focus groups, right? They can gather insights into customers' preferences, perception, how people are viewing that, and barriers to purchase. Sometimes product positive review maybe there may be some barriers. Barriers maybe in the sense product price may be high, right? Product may be positive because Apple phone also here in Sri Lanka, everyone positively they review the iPhone, but they don't purchase, most of them. The reason is the purchasing power. So then this is just based on our understanding. But to prove it, we have to do systematic study, survey, right? So then the findings can then be applied to adjust marketing, messaging, packaging, pricing strategies to better resonate with the target audience and increase the sales. So then these are the things, right, normally applicable in the applied research. And another example also we can discuss for the applied research. If any company want to introduce a new product, before launching a new product, companies often conduct applied research to test its feasibility and potential market acceptance, like a pilot testing like that. They created the product, but before launching the full scale commercialization, they go for a testing, right? Select some target consumers and try to market it and get the opinion. This could involve conducting a pilot studies, concept test, beta testing with the real consumers to gather feedback on product features. So now you see the beta testing is very common in the online softwares, right? Online sites, online softwares, normally beta versions they are releasing. Why they are releasing it? To get the feedback, real application. When people are really using it, they can get the experience, and based on that they can give their feedback, and after that incorporate the feedback before the final commercialization. So then this is a immediate applications of this kind of research. So it's applied research. For example, a cosmetic company may test a different formula of a new skin care product. So test the different skins, dry skin, oil skin, right, sensitive skins, like that. Then after application, customers can give their feedback. They can conduct a survey to get the feedback of customers, and getting that feedback, and based on that, they can modify the product and they can finally launch the product. So then these all are immediate applications. So now we have discussed about the research types. Basically two types are there: basic research and applied research. So then we can conclude the session here.